So I ordered this on Surugaya as well. It's an easy place to actually find a lot of stuff. A lot of people who know figure purchasing and stuff, they may know Mandrake, eBay, all sorts of places. Um, but this was a place that I found and pretty good. There's another figure that came with this, and I'll be doing a review right after. But this guy I'm excited about because ever since I was young and could search the interweb when it was in its, conceptions, I always saw the Revoltech Ryu, the classic one, which, if you don't know, classic Revoltech Ryu is very old. This one actually is still old, but it was still a long time after. So let's get into it. So here's the contents inside. Of course, we got Ryu, Hadouken, we got hands, we got the fist here, and then we look like grip, and then claws for the Hadouken, as well as, if you're doing like tiger punches and stuff. This right here, which is all in Japanese, but it gives you just kind of your basic to know about Revoltech joints. If you want to change them or move them, it's best to take one connector point off, then using some pliers. Now, do not use finer pliers, but also don't use your standard Leatherman. There's a jewelry style plier is the best one to use. And then right here is the mouse grade, because it was actually the original version of the macros. This was long before the macros were even a thing. Now, just what you'd expect, how he moves. He does move actually nicely with the real Revoltech joints, so they do lock. So, you don't have the loosey bend that you can get with Suguru here. But if you notice too, Suguru actually has got some height on our boy Ryu. He's got to run for his money. And here we have Ryu in the air to do his classic Tetsu Senpai Kikyu. That for those who know the move but don't know the name, this is the spinning kick, the tornado spin kick. And now I had to get the figurized stand so I could get just enough height for a good Shoryuken. Just looks super good. And then we have the nice, good old Hadouken! And Suguru going in with the lean, full muscle block. Also pretty funny thing you could do, but this hand that's like the grapple hand, you can actually do the reverse Hadouken, which is something you can do, and I think is even shown. No, it's not shown on the box, but shows pretty cool. I will say though, this picture here to do this pose of that Hadouken, a lot harder than it seems to actually get him into that pose. Overall, I really like this Ryu, and because it was when they still used the classic ratchet joint of the Revoltechs, it even feels like it's great, at least better than like the full-size one. If I can see a better view of these hands, there you go. So I think it's a lot better. I mean, just looks nice. The bandana actually swivels in the back. Nice and firm everywhere. You have ankle pivot, so his feet can actually be flat. Paint is great. I mean, this is a, second-hand Ryu, but you wouldn't think. It definitely feels real to being first-time purchased. I mean, the guy who packed it even had all the classic style plastic that should be in with these minis. That's your peg to put them on stands. Now, the interesting thing back here is this is a Revoltech joint that's completely still. It doesn't bend. It's in the sculpt. I think they should have done just a peg there, but not really complaining. Not really complaining, It's super good though, and I mean, like, next to Suguru, looks great. So, well, that's the Street Fighter Online version of Ryu Mini. Final notes, really good figure. If you can find it at a decent price, it's good, even with the shipping and everything. But it is an exuberant price a lot of the time. If you can get it for, like $200 and it's the whole line, I do recommend it because if they all have the same quality, this is super awesome. You get Ryu, Ken, Zangief. The other ones, I'm not really sure who they are. I think they were only Street Fighter Online characters, but looks great next to, Suguru. And this definitely shows you just how much of a beast Suguru is, and Ryu alone, because Suguru is supposed to be a muscle man underneath a muscle suit. So you're seeing those arms compared to those arms. Yeah. And scale is good because Ryu's face, then here, Suguru is supposed to be a face underneath a mask. So that sizing is actually pretty good, And Suguru does have boots, and Ryu is barefoot. Ankle pivot on lines are a lot better than the micros too. Okie doke, well, that is the review of Revoltech Street Fighter Online series, and it's number 1. Well, thanks for tuning, and see ya!